Yggdrasil rises like a living mountain through the heart of existence. Its immense ash trunk pierces the 9 realms, branches spreading into frost and starlight, roots delving through fire and ice until they drink from the 3 great wells far below. A constant wind moves around the tree, carrying faint echoes, the clash of distant weapons, the deep rumble of the giants, the quiet threading of fate by the Nornir. Into this vast, windswept silence comes Oðin, alone. His grey cloak is drawn tight. His wide hat shadows the single eye that burns with unrelenting purpose. Today, no ravens follow him. He has sent Hugin and Munin away. He has already tried every other path to wisdom. He has sat upon his high seat and looked across all that happens beneath the heavens. He has traded riddles with the oldest of beings. He has even torn out his own eye and cast it into Mimir's well for one deep swallow of knowledge. Still the runes elude him, those stark, angular signs that contain the hidden structure of reality itself. Power over birth and death, victory, loss, poetry, magic, and the turning of fate. He knows exactly where they are concealed, far beneath the deepest root, in the cold black waters where no light goes. And he knows the price that guards them. Gungnir rests heavily in his hand, the spear forged by dwarfs, its shaft carved with bindings so strong it never misses, never wavers. He stops beneath a thick branch that has endured countless ages of storms. He studies it for a long moment, then looks down into the yawning void below the roots, then back to the branch. No one watches, no one will intervene. With steady hands, he presses the spear's point against his own side. He draws one slow, steady breath, then surrenders to the necessary wound, accepting the sharp cost of insight. A fierce clarity blooms through the pain as he endures. He loops a rope over the branch, knots it secure, slips it around his neck, and then steps forward into the empty air. The drop ends abruptly. The rope bites. The spear pins him against a swaying trunk. He hangs suspended between the worlds, swaying gently in the endless winds. The first day is raw sensation. The wound throbs. The cold wind cuts. The body protests with every heartbeat. Thirst arrives on the second day, turning the mouth to dust, thickening the tongue. Thoughts still arrive clearly, but they begin circling, searching for a way out. By the third day, hunger joins the chorus. No bread is offered, no horn of mead is raised to his lips. Even his ravens remain absent, for he commanded it so. On the fourth day, the pain settles into a constant, grinding hum. The mind starts whispering deals. Loosen the rope just enough to rest. Return tomorrow with renewed strength. Oðin refuses every compromise. Visions flicker on the fifth day, shapes half seen in the mists far below. Voices that might belong to the Nornir, or might be his own doubts in disguise. He never looks upwards towards Asgard's halls, never sideways to the realms he rules. His single eye stays fixed downward with a meditative gaze into the absolute darkness where secrets are buried. The sixth day saps his strength like an unrelenting tide pulling life away. The wind now bites with merciless sharpness, cutting through him. Time begins to loosen its edge on the seventh day. Light and dark blur into one another. Minutes stretch into seasons. By the eighth day, the mind grows strangely quiet, not from peace, but from sheer exhaustion. Thoughts slow and sink like stones into deep water. And, in that heavy stillness, far beneath the deepest root, something changes. At the raw edge of the ninth night, a faint glow appears in the void, one spark at first, then another, then a slow ascent of ember-like lights rising through the darkness. They move unhurried, as though they have been waiting centuries for eyes willing to pay the full cost. Sharp lines take shape in the glow, angles, strokes, perfect and unmistakable. The runes. They do not ascend as gifts. They rise because the price has finally been met. Odin's parched throat tears open with a roaring cry that shakes the branches of the world tree, raw, triumphant, and barely human. His hand lashes out, clutching the burning signs, and he claims them utterly. The rope frays and snaps, the spear slides free. He falls through the cold air and strikes the ground hard. Breath flows back into his lungs. His wounds start to heal. Odin rises. The runes live inside him. He knows their names, their voices, their terrible and beautiful power. He has offered himself to himself, and in that offering, crossed a threshold no other being dared. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and subscribe for more content. I'm currently creating a Norse archetype course for Patreon. Each class will start with a myth just like this one, and we'll be covering 6 of the Norse gods. So stay tuned for when it drops.